Good morning, students. Am I audible? Please confirm in the chat box. Students, you have a chat box. Just confirm that am I audible to you guys or not? Thank you for confirming, students. Thank you for confirming. Let's proceed with the session. Welcome to the new batch of Python, batch number 351. So in case of any query, you can raise your hand. You have a screen. You have a option of raising your hand here. You can just go ahead and raise your hand so that I can answer you. If you want to talk to me, just raise your hand or you can drop your query in the chat box also. I'll be there to you. Now, this is batch 351 and today is the 11th September. My name is Ritu. Duration of the course is 40 days and course content is already shared. Course fee is 4130 INR or 50 USD dollars. First 3 sessions will be free to attend. From the 4th session, Zoom link will be changed and will be shared with the registered participants only. So go ahead and register yourself as early as possible. First 2 sessions recording will be uploaded on our YouTube channel and we'll share the link on the WhatsApp community group. So don't forget to join us on our WhatsApp community group. If you want the session updates only, just go ahead and join there. And in the WhatsApp community group, you need to go ahead and follow the announcement option. If you want, I can share it with you. To follow it, just go ahead. Just go ahead and click on that. You'll be able to get it. Let's proceed further now. No. You need to follow us on our social media website, where we'll be providing you the job updates also. Go ahead with www.logiclabstech.com. If you want to go ahead with the Telegram group, you can join us here. Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram, and LinkedIn account, all are shared here. So if you have any queries, just go ahead and join. As I've told you, if you have any question, just raise your hand or drop in the message in the chat box. I'll be there to help you. Students, one more thing I want to clear. I want my session to be very interactive. So if whenever I'll ask you any question, I want all the participants to participate in that and give me the answer. If you're getting me, then it's very good. In case, if anything is not clear to you, just drop in the message there and then or raise your hand at that time only so that I can solve your question. I can solve your query on the spot. Fine with you guys? Anything else I can ask you? If you have any question, you can ask me right now so that we'll proceed with the session now. Sounds good. Okay. Any other question? Any questions you have? No questions. So let's proceed with the session. Students, when we are proceeding with the session, everything notes will be shared with the paid candidates only. So go ahead and register yourself. First of all, we'll proceed with the introduction to Python. Students, anybody has an idea, everyone knows that it is the hottest selling programming language nowadays. Now, but what do we understand by this? What do we understand? Python is a general purpose. Why it is a hottest language? Because it is a general purpose, highly interpreted, simple, platform independent, high-level programming language. Okay, let me show you. So what is it? It is a general purpose, simple, platform independent, highly interpreted, high-level programming language. Now, why it is, how it is general purpose, how it is simple, platform independent, how come it is highly interpreted and high level also. So these are the key features of Python programming language will we discuss in our session. So it is general purpose, the kind of applications we can develop by using Python. See, if we go ahead and want to develop the websites, like web application development, it is very helpful. Example, we had Java programming language, C language, C++. Now we have Python programming language. If we want to go ahead with the gaming applications, development of gaming application can be easily developed with the help of Python. AI, of course, if you want to proceed your career in AI, then you need to have like machine learning, deep learning, etc. Then you need to have the knowledge of Python. Desktop GUI, image processing applications, text-based processing applications, business applications, audio and video-based applications such as YouTube, CAD and CAM applications, operating system installers, data visualization. If you want to make your career in automobile industry also, then you need to have the knowledge of Python because it helps in testing of sensors, data analysis and data analytics, computer vision, education program, everywhere in all the industry, Python is a language which is used. Now, let's proceed. We know about like CAD and CAM based application software development. We are using this. Now, how come? But before that, we need to have the knowledge of Python. What is actually the Python? Why, what is the history of Python? What are the versions of Python and how to download this? Let's proceed with the Python now. Let's proceed with history. Now, history when we talk about how actually it was developed, As I've told you, it is a general purpose programming language used in many applications, right? The Python programming language was conceived in year 1980. Means Guido van Rossum, who was the father of Python, who developed the Python, started working on Python programming language in the year 1980. Right? Officially, it was released in 1991, February 20, but implemented in 1989. Earlier, it was under testing. After that, it was officially released on February 20, 1991. As I've told you, Guido van Rossum developed this language. So he is the father of Python. It was developed at CWI, that is Centrum Wiskunde Informatica Institute in Netherlands. ABC programming language is the predecessor of the Python programming language. And Python programming language was managed and maintained, now also managed and maintained by a non-commercial organization, that is PSF. Now, it is taking care of this. Even if they're making the minor changes, they will be updated on the software. Now, the Python programming language managed and maintained by a non-commercial organization, PSF. Official website of Python software is www.python.org. Now, if we talk about the versions of Pythons, MNCs are using. Versions is what are the numerical identification of the project vendors or of the by the product. So Python programming language contains three types of version. Three versions are there. First one is 1.x, second is 2.x, and third is 3.x. If we talk about one is the major version and x represents the minor version. After that, we have 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 till 7. Right? If we talk about 1 is the major version, 0.1, whatever is coming after the floating point value, the decimal point value, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, these are the minor versions. Means when the minor changes takes place, they will be updated there. So now this is the outdated version. So as I've told you, Python does not support the backward compatibility. So it is outdated now. Some of the MNCs are still using Python 2.x, where 2 is the major version and x, as I've told you, represents the minor version. Nowadays, we are using Python 3.12. Now we have 3 is the major version, .x, and then we have Python 3.12.4. Now that is the major version and the minor version. Let's go ahead. We always recommend you to download the latest version from its official website, that is www.python.org. Let's go ahead and understand the downloading process of this. Just go to the official website, that is www.python.org. Just go here, click on this, and you will get the screen like this. You will get the screen like this. 2.x. See, Nikhil is asking 3.x compatible with 2.x. No, it is not compatible, but 2.x version is still in use. Some of the company vendors are still using Python 2.x. Some of the MNCs are still using this. Okay. Now, if we talk about the latest version we have, see, when we go ahead, we'll get the downloads. Python 3.12.6. This is the latest version, right? All releases, if we go ahead, we can see all the releases here. See, 3.7, 3.11, 3.7, and everything like 2. You can see here 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.6, everything is shown here. Your slide mentioned 1.x for version 3. It should state 3.x. No, it is 3.x, dear. Let me show you. 3.x. See, Python 3.x. 1 is the major version. I'm just giving the answer. Okay, 1 is the major version and x represents the minor version. Okay, you want me to mention 3.x. Sorry, I'll take care of that. Okay, Steven, thank you for correcting me. Thank you. Let's go ahead. Now, the latest version is Python 3.12.6. Right? Let me correct it right now. Is this okay? And it is 3.12.6. Thank you for correcting me. Let's go ahead now. Now, I always recommend you to download this. I was showing you the downloading process. Just go ahead, and here you have all the releases. Now, what you need to do is just go to the downloading process, downloads, and start downloading Python 3.12.6. Now, the latest version, 3.13 is going to release soon in October. Right now, Once you start downloading, it will be download, and download 3.12.6 is just there, but it's already there in my system. So it is asking me to upgrade. You go ahead and click on all the options and download the Python software. Once you download it, let me upgrade it. Installation process will start taking place. Right, once you'll download it, meanwhile it is downloading, I'll show you, you'll get the screen like this. This is the screen which you'll get. Right here, you just need to click on this box. You will get the option of properties. Here you can select your font and font size, whichever font you want and the size you want, because earlier if you want to go ahead with a smaller font, that will be very difficult for you also to work on it. So it is better to choose the big font. And after that, click on OK. Then it will be selected. Any questions? Everything is clear till here, students? Any questions do you have? You can raise your hand right now. So go ahead and download 3.12.6 version from www.python.org. Now let's proceed with the features of Python. Now, when we talk about the features are nothing but the facilities provided by the language developers in the languages, right? And as I've told you that it is simple, platform independent, highly interpreted, high level programming language. So these all are the features of this. We have 11 features of Python programming language. Now, what are those? 11 features if we talk about, that is simple, freeware and open source, platform independent, dynamically typed, interpreted programming language, high-level programming language, robust, extensible, embedded, both functional and object-oriented programming language, and also support the third-party APIs like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, SciPy, Scikit, Keras, Seaborn, etc. But before proceeding with the features, we should understand the Python is inspired from the 4 different programming languages. Now, what are those 4 programming languages? It has learned functional programming from C, object-oriented programming from C++, modular programming language from Modulo 3, and scripting programming language from Perl. Okay, so it is inspired from the 4 different languages: C, C++, Modulo 3, and Perl. Now, let's proceed with the features. Now, as I've told you, Python is a simple platform, simple language. Now, how it is simple? Python is one of the simple programming language because of 3 important technical factors. Now, what are those factors? First of all, it provides a rich set of APIs. Now, APIs are nothing but the libraries, and they are helpful so that the Python programming language can be reused. Means we can reuse the predefined code without writing our own code. We need not to write our own code. We can use the predefined code. Okay. So with the help of this, it is easy to develop. This is the first factor. As I've told you, APIs are the libraries, and it is a collection of modules. And module is a collection of functions, variables, class name, like calendar, math, CMath, OS, random module. So the random module, these are the modules. Okay, so these are the collection of modules. Once we proceed further, we'll let you know, we'll describe it, we'll discuss it in details about the modules. Now, second factor is that it provides the garbage collector facility. Now, what is garbage collector? Garbage collector himself will come, and whenever the Python is running out of memory, right? It will come and clear the unused memory space, which helps in the performance of Python-based application. So garbage collector, whose role is running of regular Python program for collecting or removing the unused memory space and improves the performance of Python-based application. This is the inbuilt application which automatically takes place. Garbage collector, what does it do? It takes care of the automatic memory management. Third factor, it's user-friendly syntaxes. Now, in the easiest language, if we talk, in the maths, we have the formulas. In the same case, if we talk about your Python programming language, if we talk about the programming language, they have the syntaxes. So Python programming language provides the user-friendly syntaxes so that the Python programmer can develop the error-free program in limited span of time. Next feature. First feature is clear. Any question? Any questions till here? First feature is clear to everyone. Students, as I've told you, I want my class to be interactive. So please drop in the message in the chat box that it's clear or not. Yes, it's clear. Very good. Let's go ahead with the second feature, that is platform independent language. Now, what do we understand by platform independent language? Means a platform is nothing but types of OS being used to run the application or the program. Right? In this context, we have two types of programming language. One is platform dependent language and second is platform independent language. Please take care of this. We have two types of language, platform dependent and platform independent. And platform is nothing but it is a type of OS. What is OS? Anybody knows what is OS? Just give me the answer in the chat box. Operating systems. Very good. So it is nothing. It's just types of OS being used to run the applications. Right? So we have two types of language, platform dependent and independent. Now, what do we understand by platform dependent language? If we talk about C, C++, etc., they are the platform dependent language. Means their data types differ from one OS to another OS. But if we talk about the platform independent language, in this data types, memory remains same on all the OSs. Getting me? If the effective effective language, that is platform independent, all types of values will be stored in the platform independent language. All types of values will be stored in the form of objects, and because of that, we can store the unlimited amount of data. Even Java is whatever we save in Java, that is also saved in the form of objects, but Java is size restricted. Whereas if we talk about the Python objects, it contains the unlimited size and unlimited values can be stored in Java. All right. So please remember that whatever we store is stored in the form of objects. Right. Next, we have freeware and open source. Now, what is freeware and open source if we talk about? Freeware. It is said to be freeware because it is easily downloaded, freely downloaded from its official website. You can freely download it. I have shown you the downloading process. Just go ahead and join and go ahead and download the Python software. Open source. Why it is known to be an open source? See, the standard name of Python is CPython. Please remember this because this is very important. That standard name of Python is C Python. And now some of the company vendors, what they are doing, they are customizing this C Python and using their customized version as an in-house tools. Like JPython or Jython, that is used for running the Java-based application. IronPython or IPython used to run C#.NET applications. MicroPython used to develop the microcontrollers. RubyPython used to develop the Ruby-based applications. And if we want to go ahead with the Hadoop applications, like big data applications, then they have the Anaconda. So what is the company vendors are doing? They are using the customized version for their tools as their in-house tools. Right? So as I've told you, the standard name of Python is CPython. Fourth is dynamically typed programming language. Student, when we talk about the dynamically typed programming language, we have two types of programming languages, static type and dynamically typed. Now, what do we understand by static type programming language? In the static type programming language, programmer must define a variable with the data, otherwise we'll get the compile time error. Right? Like if we talk about the Java or C, C++, what are they doing? They need to confirm that this variable type is int. Like int ABC, this is a variable. Declaration is mandatory here. Right? If they will not declare, they will get the error. A is equal to 10 means this is an integer type. B is equal to 20. This is an integer type. They have already declared it. C is equal to A plus B. But in spite of this, if we talk about the Python programming language, we need not to go ahead with this. Just click on this. There, programmer need not to specify the data of the variable. Right? If I write A is equal to 10. Right? And now if I'm writing print A, type of A, it will be automatically clear to us that what type of class it is. This is a integer class. Right? We are not specifying the data. It will automatically specify. Now, if I write B is equal to 1.2, let me write. Now, print B, type of B. We are not declaring it. See, this is a class of 2. This is a float class. Now, C is equal to, let me write A plus B. Now, print C, type of C. Again, float type. So we are not mentioning it. It is automatically clear. We need not to specify the data type. Whereas if we talk about the static type programming language, there we need to define a variable. Otherwise, we will get the error. Clear to you guys? I have shown you the example also. Let me show you. See. See, example is given. So all types of Python programming, as I've told you, Python programmings are stored in the form of objects. Now, A is what? A is a variable name. B is a variable name. C is variable name. So whatever we are storing is stored in the form of we always have to use this console, or can we use the CMD? You can go ahead and use the CMD. Once we'll be running the program, at that time, we'll be using the CMD. You can go ahead with the IDLE shell. You can go ahead with the Jupyter notebook. It totally depends on you. Clear? See, this console is used when we want to test the single example. Right? If I want to go ahead and I want to solve the if I want to check the single program, then we can go ahead with this. But if we want to go ahead with the multiple things, then we need to go ahead with the CMD or IDLE shell or Jupyter notebook. We have lot many options for that. So, fourth is clear to you. Fourth feature is clear to you, why it is known to be a dynamically typed programming language. Fifth is interpreted programming language. Now, what do we understand by interpreted programming language? Students, whenever we develop any Python program, we need to give some file name. And that file name should be stored with extension .py. Like file name we need to give, but extension .py should be there so that it is clear that this is a Python file. So whenever we execute the Python program, two processes takes place internally. Now, what are those two processes? Two processes are, first is compilation process and second is execution process. Now, what is compilation process? In the compilation process, the Python source code submitted to the Python compiler, it reads for the source code, check for the errors by verifying the syntaxes, and if no error found, then Python compiler convert it into the intermediate code, that is bytecode. Let me show you with the help of flowchart. See, I have saved one file that is with some.py. This is a source code with .py extension. Now here, the Python compilers, what does it do? It will go ahead and see this Python compiler will read the source code. Whatever code we have written, it will read for it, right? Check for the errors. If any error, it will read the source code line by line. And this is an interpretation process is taking place. And if interpretation process is taking place, it will be converted. If no errors found, if the syntax is fine, no error found, then in that case, internally, it will convert it into the bytecode. That is an intermediate code, some.py. See, this is an internal process. Students, see this, you need to take care. I've saved this file with some.py. The compilation process taking place, checking for the syntaxes. Okay, if no error found, then it will convert it into the intermediate code, that is bytecode, some.py or any file name .py. And in case if the error is there, then that error will be displayed on the console, right? If no error found, at that time the execution process will take place. The PVM will read the intermediate code, right, line by line, and convert it into the machine understandable language or machine understandable code, which is read by the OSS and processor. And finally, it will give the result on the console. Okay, so in Python program execution, compilation process and execution process is taking place line by line by converting it and reading it by checking for the errors. Let me show you. See. In the compilation process, the Python source code submitted to the Python compiler, it will read the source code, check for the errors by verifying the syntaxes. And if no errors found, then it will convert it into the intermediate code, that is a bytecode with extension .py. Students, please remember this is an internal process. We'll be saving the file with .py extension. Now, if the error found in the source code, then that error will be displayed on the console. After that, the execution process will take place. The PVM reads the Python intermediate code line by line and convert it into the machine understandable code, that is executable or binary code, which is read by the OS and processor, and finally it gives the result. Now, what is PVM? PVM means Python Virtual Machine, right? PVM is one of the program in Python software whose role is to read the source code line by line of bytecode and convert it into the machine understandable code, which is a binary code. So in Python program, compilation process and execution process is taking place line by line. So that is why it is one of the interpretation-based programming language. Any questions still here, students? Any questions? You can raise your hands. Clear. There are a lot many students in the class, but 1 or 2 students are responding. Why so? Students, we are learning from scratch. So even those students who are from the non-IT background will be able to understand this easily. We'll start with the basics and we'll go ahead with the advanced Python. Any questions do you have? Or is this clear to you? Muhammad Ashif wants to talk to me. Yes, please unmute yourself. Ashif, you need to unmute yourself.
This error which will be on compilation time, that will be visible on editor or what?
That will be visible. That will display it on the console.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Fine. Students, whatever error we'll get, that will be displayed on the console. Okay. So next is high-level programming language. High-level programming language. Now, how do we understand this is a high-level programming language? Students, we have 2 types of programming language. One is low-level programming language and second is high-level programming language. Now, what do we understand by low-level programming language and high-level programming language? Low-level programming language. If we display the data in the binary format or octal format or hexadecimal format, that will remain like that. Okay, whether the end user or the programmer will understand it or not. Like if I'm saving something, let me show you. If I'm saving something like A is equal to 0B. See, whenever we write the binary format, we need to write 0B. That will be understandable that this is a binary format. 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1. Now, is this understandable by the end user or the programmer? No. So, in the low-level programming language, it will remain the same, right? Like if I write octal, for that, I need to use 0O. That is an octal language. Now, let me write 2 3. Or let me write 2 3 5. Now, see, hexadecimal. Hexadecimal. 0x, that will be represented with 0x. X can be in the uppercase or in the lowercase both. Same in the case of octal number. O can be in the uppercase or in the lowercase. Same in the case of binary format. It can be in the uppercase. B can be in the uppercase or it can be in the lowercase. Now, if we talk about the hexadecimal, let's take, I've written this, face. F-A-C-E. It is not face, otherwise it is F-A-C-E. Now, if I want to convert in the low-level programming language, it will represent the data in the lower level data like binary, octal, and hexadecimal. This data type is not understandable here. But in spite of this, as Python is a high-level programming language, if we talk about this, in this, it will represent the data. And I'll write print A, type of A. It is automatically converted into the decimal number system format, which is understandable by us. Now, print B, 157. Convert it into the decimal number system. Print C. 64206. Getting me? In the high-level programming language, even if we represent the data in the low-level data, like binary, octal, and hexa, the high-level programming language automatically converts it into the decimal number system data, which is understandable by the programmer or the end user. So that is why it is known to be a high-level programming language. Clear? Let me show you more examples. Like if I write A is equal to 0B. Now let me write 1 0 1 0. Print A, type of A. See, now what is the garbage collector doing? I have given this value A is equal to 10, B is equal to 1.2. So what happened? Now I have changed the value. A is equal to 0, B 1 1 1 1 0 0 0. So what happens is the garbage collector comes and see, and this data will be erased from its memory. So it will only remember the latest variable name. Latest variable name is A, and now it is representing 0B1010. So we are getting it only remembers A, whose value is 10. Getting it? This is the process of garbage collector. Now we are changing the value like B is equal to, let me write 0 O. 1 2 3. Now it will remember the latest variable only. If I write like this, I get the output. Now C is equal to, let me write, C is equal to 0x. Now 1 2 B E E. Now C, we'll get the output. Why I'm writing type of A, type of B, type of C, so that you'll come to know that what type of value it is, what type of data type it is. Clear, students? Any questions still here? Understood the difference between the high-level programming language and the low-level programming language? Yes. Very good. Again, the 2 students responded. No problems. Okay, fine. Fine. Good. So we'll do one thing. If you have no questions, let's wind up the session here only. Let's wind up the session here only. Very good. If people will start responding, that will be helpful for you also and for me also to understand whether you're getting me or not. So let's wind up the session here only. Rest of the features like robust, extensible, embedded. As I've told you, it also supports the third-party API. We'll discuss about it tomorrow. We'll take the quick recap. Tomorrow, we'll take the quick recap of whatever we have discussed till yet. After that, we'll be discussing about next features, and then we'll discuss about the identifiers and literals in Python. Fine with you guys? Okay. Okay, students, then we'll see you tomorrow, same time. Till then, take care of yourself. Goodbye. And please enroll yourself. Thank you.